Two-man game, TMG, get the news fast, AMG, game of two boxes. Name two boxers that hit as hard as this. Yeah, we're cutting to the truth, no, there ain't no narrative. Eyes up on the cup this year, hear the stadium erupt this year. For my team, TMG.
Let's start with the quarters. I want to talk Copa America as well because I've got some good things to say about some special man. Let's start off with the quarters. What was a standout in the quarters? So we had Italy versus Belgium, which was the tie of the round.
Yeah, that's a heavyweight clash. We had Spain, Switzerland, Czech Republic, Denmark, England, Ukraine. I mean, the tie of the series for me, or the standout moment, was Belgium, Italy. Unfortunately, Belgium, there was no Hazard, and I've always said for Belgium to fulfil their potential, they need Hazard and Brent to be firing on all cylinders, and Lukaku not too far behind. That's the only way they can do it, because the team is very well rounded, but they're the cream of the crop. And if those guys not firing, Belgium are going to struggle. And defense is especially still a bit shaky. Midfield is nice, but so Tielemans, I love Tielemans, as you know. Mertens, he didn't really get much play. He seems to probably dropped a level or so. Carrasco was there as good backup, but the cream of the crop is Hazard, De Bruyne, and Lukaku. Hazard was there, so you're down to two. De Bruyne, he was decent. Didn't really take
He's coming from an ankle and ligament injury.
He tried to come from an ankle injury, and this is the time you need Lukaku to rise to the top. He scored a penalty, to be fair. I can't remember who won it. I think De Bruyne had a part to play, I can't remember. But he had a great chance to equalise. He fluffed his lines.
When he fluffed his lines, I automatically knew this is the Lukaku that I expected.
This is Lukaku of old, and you needed Lukaku to be at his best, and he wasn't. I mean, Lukaku scores many goals against. That's why he's the top goal scorer. One of the top international goal scorers.
So the lesser
sides. When you need him the most, and at 20, he's really improved this last season for Inter Milan. But when you need him the most,
you said Romelu knows ball, man. Romelu was talking a lot. He's saying, compare me to Kane. Compare me to these guys. Lewandowski. He said, compare me to these guys. I've been doing it.
Kane's kind of the same. He scored his lucky penalty, but we'll get to that.
We'll talk about Kane. I've got some things to say about Kane. I think Kane needs to be talked about.
Yeah, we'll talk about that.
Definitely. But Lukaku, you want to be mentioned around these names as a top elite number 9. You're very lucky that in this generation, there's not many elite number 9s. Because your performances are not of the past generation of number 9s.
Tough.
It's not good enough. It's not good enough. You can't compare yourself to a Drogba. Because Drogba does more in big moments than you. You can't compare yourself to that generation of striker.
And Eto and Ibrahim.
Yeah. So you're a tick behind. And your mentality, although you talk a good game, I see it in the big games. I can see it. And I'm not impressed. Great game against Portugal. Great hold-up play. No goals, though. He did what he had to do for the team. Great hold-up, holding the ball up, bringing the game into, slowing down the game, bringing others into the game. But at the end of the day, when they need you to score goals in these big moments, you don't do it. You don't do it time and again.
It's aside. And it's similar to when they played France World Cup semi-final. Hazard had a decent to good game. Well, we had a good game of outscoring. De Bruyne wasn't quite at the boil. Lukaku was missing.
The only good knockout game I've seen him play is the one against Brazil. Yeah. And he was very, very good in that game.
They suited him, counter-attack.
Yeah, it was a counter-attack game and he was...
Space.
He came out to the left, but aside from that, I can't think of many memorable knockout games.
Obviously, Lukaku, give him space, he's very lethal. You take away that space, you see a different player.
Someone said that he's only scored 2 knockout goals in tournament football. One against
that's scary.
USA and Italy.
That's very scary. But anyways, yeah, that was the tie. Anything else stood out for you in the quarterfinals? Obviously, England battered Ukraine.
England battered. Ukraine didn't.
All the headed goals. Henderson's first goal. Maguire's big head. Kane got on the score sheet.
England was solid defensively. They escaped a potential burn iron skin. And they did it quite comfortably, scoring early, which is very not the England way. So I was quite impressed with that. That's very impressive, actually. To be fair, I like the Denmark Czech Republic game. Two very evenly matched teams, and as I think we said in our fantasy football group chat, that's Schick the movement, the types of goals he scored. Very, very impressive.
Good marksman.
Very good marksman. It's someone to watch for, and I think in the right system around the right players, he can do a lot. He could do a lot. I saw some comparisons to Van Persie, but I don't really see it. But I do like his movement and the ability to score a lot of goals.
Van Persie, you know.
Even Dolberg really impressed me over
fulfilling his potential.
I don't think he'll ever fulfill his potential because of how people expect him to be. But Dolberg, if he given confidence, he showed me he can be a shooter.
Sure.
He can be a shooter, and then obviously I'll talk about my star player in the semi-finals, a real star boy.
Sheik is more like a hunter
now. I'll see that comparison.
Hunter was a bagsman.
A proper bagsman. Now onto the semis. Two nail-biting games.
One didn't have to be. One was probably most likely going to be, but one didn't have to be.
One didn't have to be. One was most likely to be. Italy, Spain. What a game! What a game! The intensity, the level of play. That is probably one of the best games of international football you will see over the course of 90 minutes. The extra time wasn't so impressive, but that 90 minutes as a product for football on the international stage, very high quality. The level of a club game, a Champions League club game, I would say.
Busquets, he rolled back the years. I've been criticising Busquets. Some guys have overrated him. Don't get me wrong, he was a very good player, arguably an all-time great midfielder. But I've always seen a severe weakness, especially that's been exposed the last few years as his age. But that game, he rolled back the years, was dictating everything. It was like a step ahead, the guys on the field. And to be honest, he kind of played into his hands because Italy, the midfield, they don't really have athletes. And the wingers, Chiellini's got a bit of pace, but wasn't really coming in field to expose Busquets. I would say if you have someone with speed or dribbler, like a ball carrier, if you can run out Busquets, there's a lot of space to expose when Busquets is there because he can't cover the ground. But he done really well, Busquets, and it was a great performance from him.
Tactically, I think Luis Enrique showed that he's a notch above most managers at the international level because he made adjustments which a lot of teams do not make. They crowded Jorginho out and they were getting into space with Olmo. Olmo was really getting into that half space and they were really pressing Jorginho off the ball, which didn't allow Italy to really have a base and get into possession. Where Italy's most of their joy was from long balls over the top, obviously. Spain are very suspect.
Spain's line was high.
Yeah, very suspect to balls over the top, and that's how Chiesa really was able to cause an impact. And I think
Federico
going into the England game, obviously, that's something they can exploit. I don't really see Kane really helping, but Sterling and possibly Saka, if he starts, will be able to get in behind and really cause them problems.
I mean, Italy, they should adjust because they have, obviously, if Jorginho's marked out the game, you still have another great deep line playmaker there in Verratti. So he needs to make himself more available to be a second option because Verratti could do that role just as good as Jorginho if he wanted.
Verratti was he was doing more of a box-to-box role in that midfield. I think he's positionally, he's playing in the same position, but his role is different.
No, it's not. I think they play like Jorginho's like the deepest, and then they have Verratti and Barella's a bit further forward. But if they've blocked the chance with Jorginho, Verratti needs to make himself more available.
But Verratti he never dropped into those
that's what he needs
spaces.
to do in the game. If you're going to try to run that, you need to adjust to that because he has the skills to do that, to get him under pressure on a half turn. Very nifty, very tight ball control, excellent passer. He has the ability to do that and then some. So that's what something him and Mancini need to look at.
Yeah, maybe that'll be an option for that game. But I don't really see England really trying to press him unless, obviously, the best person to do that will be probably a Mount to get to stop Jorginho's line of supply. But
if England are smart, they should try to do that. They saw the success Spain had. I mean, if you let Jorginho play, you got to make your job a lot harder. I mean, even when Chelsea were playing before, few teams knew if you stop Jorginho, you stop a lot of what Chelsea do in terms of progressing the ball forward. Same with Italy. So if England are smart, they'll look at that and they'll look at that as something to exploit. Same with Jorginho is similar to Busquets. If you go the other way, if you run at him, he hasn't really got the legs to stop attacks. So that's something you need to look at as well.
I was really impressed with Chiesa as well in that game.
Great finish.
Great finish. Great runner with the ball.
Powerful runner, great runner.
Yeah, he's not very Italian in that respect. You don't really expect them to have athletes like that in the game. And Chiesa's very athletic in that game. And then Italy's fullbacks have been very impressive this tournament. Emerson, I saw a lot of guys giving him praise. He played extremely well in that game, getting in behind, offering himself as an outlet on the other side. I think the way they play is that they play in the fact so the left back is the one that goes up and down, and the right back normally tucks in. I don't think he's as offensive, so he's more like a defensive fullback. Giving him, so giving the left fullback more space to run. That's why Spinazzola was so impressive.
Spinning.
It's so impressive. It's gonna get a big move probably. He's unfortunate about the injury.
28. Achilles will be out for a while.
Yeah.
He plays for Roma.
But I think the modern football Achilles injuries are not that harmful because Axel Witsel got an Achilles injury in January and he's back for Euros, which is crazy. Crazy.
Yeah, the finals penalties. Actually, on Spain, Olmo, what a player. He's helped to. Yeah, I'm not helped to, but I'm really impressed with what he's done. You know, he plays for RB Leipzig.
Yeah.
You know, certain teams should buy him, but they don't make decisions at the right time,
They
do
don't
they?
make due diligence. Hey, we can talk about Arsenal. I can tell you some bad things about them, the mugs. But at the end of the day,
Pedri, quality player. Looking at the next great Spanish midfielder.
I think I see the comparisons to Iniesta. I say more Fabregas.
Fabregas, Iniesta, Xavi, take your pick. I don't mind.
I see more Fabregas. I like the way he moves in the half spaces. What I would like him to add into his game is more goal threat, but he's so good at retention of possession, the pre-assist, as people say. But I really impressed with him. Koke had a good game in that semi-final as well.
Respect my guy Koke.
Not better than Henderson, but Koke had a good game.
Henderson's a good player.
Ferran Torres, I don't know why they subbed him off, but in retrospect, it was a good decision bringing on Morata.
From here to
and
zero.
that goal, that move, it's just like if Morata can do that, why would you do what you did?
Because he's a shookhead.
I don't get it.
Morata is
that goal was fantastic. Oh my, boom.
Morata's a shookhead.
Fam, that goal, unstoppable movement, it's unstoppable play, fam. You're playing against Chiellini and Bonucci. Are gonna be like stalwarts at the back, and the way they just slivered through that, I was like, boy.
Yeah, but they can't. As good as they are at this age, they can't handle runners like that.
Yeah, they can't. They could not handle the run. They were just both lost by the run, and it was a wonderful finish.
Great finish, great move. Then you come on to the penalties.
Hey, penalties, Chiellini. I was looking back at it. Yeah, I watched the video, but I think when they went for the coin toss, that's the moment Spain lost. Because Chiellini was he was too excited. Did you see the way he was manhandling Alba?
It was hugging him up.
I was like, there's no way a man can be this confident. And
I love Chile, one of the best centre-backs defenders of the last decade of this generation.
No proper accolades though.
Unfortunately, doesn't have... I always say this, for defenders, I don't really judge them as much on accolades as much as I would forwards, because I always say this, defender, you can have the best game of your life. If your goalkeeper just does what Simon did against, I believe, Switzerland or Croatia, what are you going to do? If there's a handball from your left back in a box penalty, you lose 1-0, what are you gonna do? You don't have the ability to win a game as clearly, or bring back a game as clearly as a forward or midfielder. Because say a midfielder or forward, their team concedes a stop you goal. You're like, cool, I get the ball, score another goal, can take the game to my own hands. You don't have that opportunity, so you kind of rely on your forwards in that regards. That's why I put more pressure on the forwards and the wingers and the midfielders to win stuff. And also, because Chiellini, if he played with Ronaldo and Messi when he was younger, he would have all these trophies. But unfortunately, he didn't.
Juve had opportunities.
They got to finals, but at the end of the day, they didn't have those guys.
Juve and Atletico were the nearly men of the last decade.
Yeah, but for most of that decade, if you didn't have, apart from Chelsea this year, Bayern a couple of times, but Bayern had an elite team from top to bottom. Apart from Chelsea, Bayern a couple of times. Everyone else was, I think Liverpool, of course, that's 4. Everyone else that won the Champions League was pretty much Messi and Ronaldo. He got Ronaldo when he's out of his prime, unfortunately. So, and to be honest, the teams he lost to were Barcelona and Real Madrid. They got knocked about them bare times, so
lost to them
it's unfortunate. And hopefully, obviously I want him to win, but hopefully he can get here for his sake. He can get his international trophy. For the people that are watching, they only judge players by their honours and what they win in terms of how good they are, especially defenders. They don't look at other stuff. That's how some guys like Ramos are called the best defender of all time, which is just laughable.
I don't call him the best.
So, I don't say you do, but some guys do, which is laughable. It is insane, laughable.
You know what? Yeah, I think. You know what's so funny is that this is kind of similar to Euro 2016, in that the home nation's in the final. France were in the final and they lost.
Is France a home nation?
Yeah, France was a home nation.
Oh, the home team that's home. I thought you meant home nations in the Great Britain.
No, the home country in that one. I think there's a lot of expectation on England. I don't know. I feel like it's a full good atmosphere for England, but the expectations are there. And I don't know how England play poorly on the expectations. Even with the Denmark game, they play poorly on the expectations.
Before we get to England's expectations, the penalties. Omar missed.
Omar, after such a good game, you can't miss.
I just knew
You can't miss. Morata, I knew he was missing because he did it so quickly. He pulled up so quickly. I was like, bro, relax. And he took an awful pen. Bro, relax. He don't want to take that moment in. That's what it is. He just didn't want to take the moment in.
Yeah. Keepers are making good saves in terms of penalties this year.
Mm-hmm.
But there's been a few poor penalties. But anyways, yeah, so Morata obviously missed the crucial pen. Italy go through to the final where they will face England, who played Denmark. Under pressure.
So lucky.
They almost buckled it off.
Damsgaard. If they keep Damsgaard and Dolberg on, Denmark could actually win that game.
They were subbing them, man. I don't know.
I don't know why they subbed them. As soon as they took them off, that's the moment they lost. But there was no one else getting into half spaces that those two were getting into and actually causing issues.
This has been a standout year for Damsgaard. A standout tournament.
He was exceptional in that game. He was actually offering threat. He was matched up against Kyle Walker. Obviously, Walker pace, like he couldn't beat it for pace, but he was just getting in the correct positions.
Yeah.
Dolberg was very impressive. Like, it was on the half turn, Stones and Maguire, they couldn't really handle him. So, like, we could get him on paper for Stones and Maguire, but I like to watch the game. I thought England midfield absolutely got bossed. Absolutely got bossed for the first 60 minutes.
Yeah.
Then guys ran out of steam. Delaney ran out of steam.
I mean, Damsgaard, yeah, with Kyle Walker, you're not going to beat him physically in one-on-one, really. Even the guys like Neymar and Mbappe, they will struggle to be one-on-ones. And Hazard, those guys. We have to beat him kind of your mind, your movement, get into the spaces, you know, making mistakes. Because Kyle Walker, he's a track star. The guys, like the amount of recovery he wants to save the back line, Kyle Walker, that's why he plays. And to be fair, and it's going to be interesting to see when his physical attributes diminish, see what he can do.
But he's 30 now, bro.
I mean, well, the way he's going, he needs to be fast for another 2 years.
Yeah.
Maybe he can go to a part of a back three and be fast for a centre back.
Yeah.
That would be for him. But you have to do that. What Damsgaard did was exceptional. Getting into half space, getting into position, being in positional play, dragging him out of positions. That's that sort of thing. And that's what he did. And Damsgaard, the free kick he scored, the technique of that was fantastic. Yes, a bit centrally. Pickford probably would want to say that was central, but the pace of the shots.
I think the wall kind of...
Yeah, the Danish wall is what they done more to knock him out. But yeah, England almost wanted to buckle it off. Pickford wanted to turn back into the Everton Pickford that makes mistakes. He was panicking. They were panicking. And this is why I feel when they face Italy, I don't think they're going to win. Because Italy will handle the environment, the situation, the event better than England do. And Italy have the experience.
I think Italy will play the game. England will play the atmosphere.
Yeah.
And when you play the atmosphere, it can, like, sometimes, yeah. And I don't think people talk about this, that having like a crowd behind you, a racist crowd, or like a raucous crowd, or like, it fools you to do a lot. And when you do a lot, you sometimes come out of your role, and that's when you start making mistakes.
Learning too much.
Yeah, you do too much. Sometimes you push it. Like, I think they were talking about it. There's basketball references. Like, I think Major Miller was saying about Giannis. He said sometimes when you're playing bad, people do more. Yeah. And when you do more, you compound your mistakes. When you're having a bad game, you play harder. And when you play harder, sometimes you come out of what you need to do.
In school games, playing harder can be to your detriment. Similar to Russell Westbrook, that's his downfall as well. He goes so hard, but there's a time, especially in the clutch, going hard is counterproductive. You need to be still, you need to be poised, you need to be composed. Maybe you need to give the ball up. You need to make better plays, you need to relax. And going harder is not going to do anything because you're not going to run into a dead alley, you're going to run into a blind spot. You need to make the right plays, make the right shot, execute your skills, execute the plays. And going harder doesn't facilitate those things to happen.
I do think in that moment, the poise that Sterling showed in that game was immense. That he was actually going at guys. And tournament football suits Sterling. In that respect, that guys are not actually pressing you. They let you have the ball in a lot of places. Like, in tournament football, it's not the same intensity. Like, I'm not going to close you down. Like, Sterling was having time to get into his one, to make his tricks. Because I never see Sterling as a dribbler. Sterling hasn't been a dribbler since his Liverpool days. He's been a runner off the ball.
I think he saw beat men yesterday.
Yeah, and when he started beating men, I was like, well, I haven't seen this version of Sterling for a long time.
Sterling has always been able to beat men, just that he doesn't, because his change of pace is quick. He doesn't necessarily do the steppies like that, but he shift the pace, gets in behind them. He's always be able to do that. He's not a dribbler like a Hazard or a Neymar or someone like that, but he can dribble and beat guys.
But he was beating people in close spaces because normally
On the Mahrez.
Yeah, because when Mahrez doing that and he's got flicks and Sterling doesn't have the flicks. It's a drop of the shoulder and he's beating you to this spot. Then he's coming back to the spot. And Sterling was doing that consistently. It was when he came to the left and the right, whatever side, he just beating that man consistently, and that's what ultimately won the game. It was Sterling's change of pace, his trickery,
His stop and go.
Yeah, his stop and go won the game. Obviously, Kane will take home the plaudits, but really, Kane became a mentality midget in that moment. He's just lucky that he didn't stop. If Michael hadn't caught that, so Michael tried to catch that ball.
Yeah.
If he had parried it, it's a different story today. Because if that goes to pens, there's no way England beat Denmark. There's no way.
Why is there no way?
Damn, he just took his heart. He missed that pen. After he missed that pen, think about how that affects every other player. To come back from that, that's mad.
But
and the way Schmeichel was playing inspired.
The crowd could have gone to Denmark's heads. I mean, before we look at that pen, or before they look at the execution of the pen, that wasn't a penalty.
It wasn't a penalty. I was very shocked that he gave that, but it is what it is. It's in England. It's in England.
VR didn't return that. It said it wasn't obvious error. That's obvious. This wasn't a penalty. That actually wasn't a penalty. If that was against me, I'm not letting that penalty be taken. That's just ridiculous.
If at the end of the day he's played in England are hosting this event, they're gonna get that penny. They were always gonna get that penalty.
That's pathetic.
It was an awful pen to give, but the family. Yeah, the thing is, Sterling made the referee have to make a choice.
He did.
And in football, sometimes that's all it needs. You just have to make the referee make a choice. When you're in the box and you fall down, a decision has to be made.
Yeah, the decision did have to be made, but that was the wrong decision by the ref, and the VAR should have overturned it, but they didn't. But
VAR is not perfect, man. It's obviously controlled by a human being. They took the scenario, they took the moment. But that's I don't think you give that if that's in the first. I don't think you give that if that's in the first 45 minutes of a game.
And that needs to stop.
I don't think you give that. I think it's just because of the pressure, the fans, and everything. It was an awful pen to give away. I think because he maybe looked back at that Kane penalty he didn't give. And he thought,
true. That was more of a penalty, man.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, England in the final. Italy predictions. Any predictions?
I'm gonna go. Shock England 2-1.
England 2-1.
Yeah.
I think Italy will win 2-1.
You see 2-1. I'm only going England to win 2-1 because I just feel like there's something special happening.
What's England gonna do in that midfield battle?
The midfield battle is tough.
Unless they press well.
That midfield, I think it's a counter thing. I personally think England will just succeed. Let them have the ball.
England want to play 5 at the back.
Yeah, they are. They're gonna let them have the ball, sit back, and say, "Do your worst."
That midfield battle is gonna be jokes.
I'm just gonna.
If they do that and make it combative, they have a chance.
I personally think if I'm England, I'll sit back, let Italy have the ball. Yeah, let them creep forward, let the pressure mount, and then we hit you with Sterling and Saka, whatever the guys.
Walker deals with Insigne.
Yeah, Insigne's a tricky customer for it because it's not a pace thing.
He's not gonna try to run you like that. He's gonna try to drop on the shoulder half yard, get to spaces.
And the thing is, Walker is an idiot sometimes. He's like got a real bozo gene. I'm more scared for Shaw against Chiesa. I think Chiesa is gonna. Shaw's gonna go forward. Chiesa is just gonna.
It's that gap.
Yeah.
I think the centre backs can deal with Immobile pretty well, to be fair.
But think about what Damsgaard did. I'm just saying, if Damsgaard did a blueprint, yeah, if Insigne can get into those positions.
Well, what Damsgaard did was really good, and Insigne is a better player than Damsgaard.
Yeah, so it's an issue.
And Chiellini, Bonucci against Kane.
Oh, that's already done. And Chiellini's already taken Kane's heart once already at Wembley.
Yeah, history of the Tottenham.
History of the Tottenham, so...
I think Sterling is the difference for England, and it's been a difference in England so far. I think Sterling is the real difference in this final.
Sterling against Di Lorenzo.
Di Lorenzo or...
Di Lorenzo doesn't go forward, though.
Who's the other one? Or Emerson, whichever side he's going to be in. I think Sterling and if Saka or Sancho, whoever, they're the ones, their pace, their triple.
Sancho doesn't have pace. I think I would play Saka in this game because Saka makes runs in behind. He does run out.
They want to start Grealish.
Yeah. Grealish is not going to... No point playing Grealish in a game where you don't have the ball.
Mount will be a big factor in this game as well.
I just prefer Foden over Mount. But Mount's got work. As guys say, Mount works hard. So I think that's a big factor in this game.
I mean, Foden got benched.
So dumb because Foden
I think
better.
people, they've been overhyping Foden's lack of performance. I mean, maybe because he's got the silver hair. They
Yeah,
expect him to have a blind every game. Like, but they act like Foden's been crap. He hasn't been crap.
It's been steady.
It's been right. It's been steady. And he's nice touch. Yeah, you want him to do more.
Foden's the best in the England team. Foden's the best player at ball retention because.
But England don't value ball retention.
It's so dumb that they don't value ball retention. But at the end of the day, if this is the way that England win, they're not even gonna remember that Foden turned his hair blonde. They don't care. It is what it is.
It's true.
But I love the confidence of a player to do that before a tournament. Family, come with criticism.
So because you like Foden, if Henderson was there, what would you be saying?
Henderson's old though. I'm talking about those that have.
If Grealish did it, what would you be saying?
Hey, Grealish. I'm on to Grealish. I'm not really impressed with Grealish. And guys are trying to convince me about Grealish. That's making me hate him even more.
He's a good player.
I told you that Maddison's better than Grealish. I've been trying to tell Tons.
He's done more on his cameos.
He's a good player, but I'm a Maddison Don. I've been a Maddison Don. I think Maddison's better than Mount. I think out of the four, if I was to rank Maddison, Foden, a Grealish, a Mount, Maddison might be number 2 in my list. Mount is my number 4, but Mount works hard. So.
I got Foden. As it stands today, I got Foden, Mount, Grealish, then Maddison right now. But the Mount and Grealish is fluid. Maddison's fluid as well.
Guys are telling me that Arsenal tax Saka as good as Foden.
You said that?
That's what I'm sure today.
So Arsenal, Saka's as good as Foden?
Yeah, but you just because of Arsenal, he plays for Arsenal, you don't realise. I tell you, I watch Saka week in, week out. This guy is not as good as you think he is.
So there's one guy from my uni said, like a couple months ago, maybe a few months ago, that Saka's as good as Foden or better Foden. I was like, gee, to bake.
Do you know why guys say Saka's good, but they try and hype Saka, but see Saka in big games for Arsenal. He doesn't do that much. He doesn't impact the game. He just does things he doesn't actually do things that win you games. He doesn't do things that win you games. That's for me. He doesn't score enough. His assist is very poor. Like his stats, if you look at his stats compared to Greenwood, you're like, whoa, Greenwood played less games. Greenwood's got nearly as good stats as him. It's just like, it doesn't make sense.
Hey, Greenwood's a striker. Saka's a good assist man. Saka's a good dribbler.
Greenwood's got nearly as many assists as Saka.
Yeah, but Greenwood's like a final third player only. Saka does a bit more. He can work where he can progress about the pitch. Play a number of different roles. His ball retention is usually good.
I'm a big Greenwood fan. I think Greenwood is so special. As a player, you don't really get players like Greenwood often.
Yeah, Greenwood is like a modern Van Persie with a bit more pace, it looks like. Or maybe Van Persie. Remember Van Persie.
And his striking ability.
If I remember Van Persie was young, he had a bit more pace.
Don't worry, he won't play because Greenwood's a man's going to take it. Anyway.
But yeah, we didn't say about Copa America whilst it's on football. The final.
Go Messi. If you win this, we can be vindicated. And we can stop playing Copa Americas as well. This is it. Win this. And then we go on. Emi Martinez, massive addition.
I said that.
Massive addition.
How many times?
We finally have a keeper. And we're gonna beat Brazil. Actually, I don't know. But Brazil played guys like Fred, so we got a chance.
I said it before, maybe Martinez is gonna drag Messi to an international trophy. I will say this, I'll be on record saying this. I will say this. If Messi wins an international trophy, I can entertain. I can accept people that call him goats. Beforehand, I couldn't accept it because it's ludicrous.
All I need is Messi. Let's preserve him for a year and a half so we can get to that World Cup.
I mean, we don't do nothing. But I think
who's better than us? We've got Messi. Do you see the way Messi plays in these spurts? We've got a chance in this World Cup. Come on, we have a big chance. Yeah, look up. Okay, I'll tell you the competitors. France are gonna wake up if they sack the champs, and I pray for the
England more of a chance.
I pray for the love of God that England don't get this stupid route they've been getting.
England will beat Argentina.
No way.
They're
them idiots. They're mental midgets. England are mental midgets against every good team.
Argentina's not good.
Yeah, they got Messi though. Messi will take their heart. So what's Messi gonna do? Who's in the half space now? Okay, exchange Dumb for Messi in the half space.
Yeah, But Messi plays on the right side. He'll be on that. It will basically, honestly, he's starting in the middle. But they'll pay more attention to Messi because it's Messi. I mean, but
Then we got Lautaro. And we got Di
Archie's
Maria.
defense. I think we'll be. I believe in will be Archie. But anyways, yeah. If I was distracted, with that tournament, I can fully understand and accept if people call him the GOAT.
Finally, good.
Because it'll be warranted. Because no other guy in the GOAT race, if you play for a capable international team, you can't be not winning a trophy, international trophy. They've had like 3-4 Copa Americas in the last 5 years. They've been trying to make this guy win.
No, they haven't tried to.
And he's been faltering and faltering.
Basically, we had the Centurion one. Then that was after the one. And last year we had to play it for 4 years. Centurion one we had Mexico in it. That wasn't a Copa. That was
15, 16.
No.
Then you had
we had 20 and 21.
Has it not been like 17?
There's no one in the middle. Don't try and make ones up.
But the thing is, Brazil, they give you a chance. Because apart from that, I think they won the one game when they tore a team up like 4-0, but Brazil, they waste chances. Neymar, he's played all right this one, but he's not scoring enough goals. He's wasting chances. I've said this the last 2 years, mate. Neymar's finishes has gone down the drain. He's wasting a lot of chances. His approach play is very good. Creates a lot of chances. He creates a lot of opens, but his approach play is going down the drain. What do you see? Anything good?
Oh yeah, Fury fight might be cancelled.
Oh, I saw that before. We'll talk that next week. Flipping. So yeah. I see they have a chance. They have a good offense. If they can keep the defense tight, I'll step to watch that game. We'll see. We'll see if Messi can finally vindicate his phony GOAT claims.
I have no confidence.
This I say him and LeBron are the same guy. Both their GOAT claims are, as Skip Bayless would say, they're phony. They're not legitimate.
Messi. Anyway, talking about phony goats, let's talk about the point guard. Chris Paul.
Road to top 5 point guards all time.
Isaiah had something to say about that this week.
Really? I haven't seen that.
Did you see the tweeting that he's the only person to get 13 assists and score 20 points? And he said, as I recognise.
He said, who's the only person that?
Only him.
Isaiah Thomas.
He's the only person.
To get 13 assists and 20 points?
Yeah, the average for a season.
Oh, 20 and 13.